A couple months ago now, I made a video redesigning some of the OCs that I had made in middle school. Specifically, these OCs were from a universe that was a crossover between My Little Pony, Five Nights at Freddy's, and Miraculous Ladybug. And I don't know what I was on in middle school, but this universe is absolutely massive. There are more OCs for this universe than I can count. And so today I picked out another handful that I thought needed a refresh. Specifically, one of them started out as a pony, one of them is your stereotypical your name self-insert, and one of them was designed to be my perfect boyfriend. You may be asking, what does a universe that combines Five Nights at Freddy's, Miraculous Ladybug, and My Little Pony even entail? Well, I'm about to explain it to you. That's the whole point of the video. But before we get into all of that nonsense, this video is very, very kindly sponsored by Skillshare. Even though it's, well, now it's April, I'm still kind of in the New Year's mode. Around this time of year is when I get really into learning and self-improvement, but oftentimes am so overwhelmed by the amount of content online that I have no idea where to start, which is where our saving grace, Skillshare, comes in. Skillshare is the biggest, largest, most unending library of courses for creatives made by other creatives and industry professionals, ranging from topics like productivity and time management to watercolor and graphic design. If there's something you've been kind of interested in learning but got overwhelmed by trying to figure out where to start, Skillshare's courses are organized linearly, so you're always starting with the easiest concepts first and moving on to more intermediate ideas as you learn. That is indeed how classes work. The course that I decided to focus on this month was the Sketchbook Fillers Club, 4 Powerful Guidelines for Studying Spreads by Dylan Mierzwinski. My sketchbook has always kind of been a hot mess, but I like to post spreads on here from time to time, and this course for all skill levels is designed not only to guide you through creating a sketchbook spread, but give you the guidelines for composing spreads no matter what you're drawing after you finish the class. If you're not a traditional artist, Skillshare has classes for digital artists as well, in addition to classes on all these categories for any interest you're exploring. Personally, I'll be well acquainted with the productivity courses by the end of this year. My big goal this year is to regain my creativity and clear up some of the fog plaguing my brain, and there's no better way to do that than by learning, and there's no better way to learn than Skillshare. I came up with that all by myself. The first 500 of you guys to click the link in the description or in the pinned comment will get a free month of Skillshare, which is enough to explore any course that catches your eye. Make sure to check out Skillshare if you're interested in learning literally anything ever, and thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video and supporting the channel. Love you guys, mwah! And now, Five Nights at Freddy's, Miraculous, My Little Pony, go! If you've seen the movie My Little Pony Equestria Girls, which if you're in my target demographic you most likely have, in the pony world, there is a magic mirror that transports ponies from Equestria to the human world. And essentially in this fanfiction, a group of a few ponies had come through this mirror to come to the human world, and in this human world, not only do most of them work at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, but they also have Miraculouses from Miraculous Ladybug, which give the user a special power. So during the day, they were miraculous heroes, and at night, they were Five Nights at Freddy's night guards. That came from Equestria. That's extremely watered down and simplified. Every single one of them has their own stupid lore that I could get into. But for now, I just want to take a look at their original designs and essentially look at my improvement, because most of these characters were designed in 2018 and 2019, which is a long time ago now. So let's take a look at the first character I'll be redesigning, because he is an absolute mess. When it comes to this universe, the main draw for me and my best friend, who I worked on this universe with, were the Five Nights at Freddy's Night Guards, specifically the version that was made by Rebornica and then kind of adapted by FNAF Nations on DeviantArt. We were madly in love with them. I have explained this multiple times in previous videos. I'll link them in the description if you want to catch up on the whole series. And so most of the OCs that we were making for this universe were girls that we would ship with these night guards, but occasionally we would make an OC and then decide that they didn't really mesh well with any of the night guards, so we would just make another OC to ship them with. So characters that started off being shipped with the FNAF night guards would eventually just be shipped with other OCs, which completely defeats the point of it being a Five Nights at Freddy's story. Like, who are these people? One such case is Austin. In the 7th and 8th grade, when I was really discovering myself and what I was attracted to, I decided a fun exercise would be to design an OC that is just my ideal boyfriend. And 13-year-old me came up with this. This is Austin, and his only personality trait is that he is loyal and that he goes to the gym. That's 2 things. He is your stereotypical golden retriever boyfriend. Well, not your golden retriever boyfriend, he's my golden retriever boyfriend. Specifically, the version of myself that I shipped him with was named Galaxy. He would listen to every single word that Galaxy said. He worshipped the ground that they walked on. He was kind and he was caring and he went to the gym a lot. I remember specifying that he would go to the gym a lot, but other than that, he's kind of nothing. He's just a boy that would do whatever I felt like having him do, which, yeah, okay. When I got to high school, I decided that my tastes had changed a little bit, and so I wanted to give Austin a redesign. I wasn't into nice, clean boys anymore. No, I wanted a bad boy. So Austin became this kind of punk rock, he was a boy, she was a girl type. He'd run away from home to start a band. He didn't take anything from anybody except from me. He turned into one of those stereotypical mean to everybody else except for you tropes. And honestly, I was kind of cooking with that. We're gonna stick with it. For his new design, I kind of wanted to combine all of the aspects I liked from his newer design with the design that I had made in middle school, which there's not a lot to go off of here, and so he's not really going to change a lot. And make no mistake, he is 100% going to still be a self-indulgent, ideal boyfriend type for me, because I've been going through it, and I deserve this, okay? I'm still a fan of the story and personality that I had given him in high school. He ran away from home at a young age to pursue his dream of being a rock star. He moved to the city of New Paris, which if you've watched my previous videos on this miraculous Five Nights at Freddy's My Little Pony story, is the place that the story takes place. He moved to New Paris and met a bunch of other young adults who had ran away from home and dropped out of college to become rock stars, and so they all formed a band. 2 of the characters from my last video on this universe are part of this band, Pit and Ash. And Austin is the band's leader and main guitarist. When he's not writing really bad songs, he is working part-time at both a bar as well as a restaurant, trying to earn as much money as he can to support his young daughter. Austin has a 2-year-old daughter named Persephone with his ex-girlfriend, and he's a single dad who works 2 jobs. And so his whole arc is that he's balancing his dreams of being a rock star with working 2 jobs to provide for his daughter that he loves more than anything in the world. For this iteration of Austin, I ended up toning down his punk grunge elements a little bit, which broke my heart, but I ultimately decided I wanted him to be more mellow than Pit and Ash and the rest of his band. Not that you can't be mellow and also punk, but I felt like it fit better with his personality. So he's kind of peak performative male. He's got the ripped jeans and the combat boots. I love him bad. And I was cooking in high school because originally he was actually a villain. He was given a miraculous by Hawkmoth and blackmailed into doing his bidding at the cost or the benefit of keeping his daughter safe, because somehow Hawkmoth finds out his identity and threatens to reveal what he's been doing to his friends and his family and get his daughter taken away from him, which is absolutely insane stuff. But I love tragic, misunderstood stories like that where somebody is forced to do something they wouldn't normally do at, because they want to take care of their family or the people close to them. I eat it up every single time. And so that's something I am super excited to explore further if I ever do end up doing any more Miraculous Ladybird videos. I'm also considering repurposing some of these characters for a truly original story, so be on the lookout for that. Anyways, moving on to the next character. If you thought that Austin was a hot mess to begin with, you don't even know the meaning of hot mess. This is what this character looked like originally. What are we doing? Her name was Pixel Arts. She is a changeling pony from Equestria who came through the mirror and now lives as a human in the Five Nights at Freddy's world. And she is actually shipped with one of the night guards, and I want you to guess which one. Did you say Fritz? Because you are correct. And they actually have a daughter together, so that's great. Sometime in middle school, I decided that the rainbow look wasn't really working for me, so I made Pixel entirely blue, and that's how she stayed for a pretty long time. Pixel was originally quite emo. She was very standoffish, but eventually she fell in love with Fritz Smith, of all people, and they had a daughter, and then she just turned into the token mom character. That's great. She ended up losing a lot of her original personality traits as the years went on and I continued to update her design. She used to be very outspoken, very protective of her friends, but eventually she did just turn into the mom friend of the group, literally. And so for her redesign, I wanted to bring back the edge that was in her original design. Specifically, I wanted her to be visually very strong, very confident, very outspoken. Originally, in the original draft of the story, she rode a motorcycle, and I thought that was cool, so we're putting it back in here. She is still 100% a girl mom to her daughter, who she loves very much, but now she's a personal trainer at a gym, and she also used to be a tattoo artist and also used to do motocross. Basically, just imagine the coolest woman you've ever seen in your entire life, who is in a relationship with a man who looks like this. Sometime in high school, I decided that I didn't want her to be named Pixel anymore for obvious reasons. So I changed her name to Petra, mostly because I was a really big fan of Minecraft story mode and I thought that Petra was an icon. I also decided to lean her color palette more towards green instead of blue because, as everybody knows, blue is my color, and she's no longer a self-insert. She hasn't been since 6th grade. So I made her hair this kind of faded turquoise, like maybe it used to be this bright teal that's faded over time. Because she's got a busy life, she's got a lot to do. She doesn't have time to be touching up her hair, but it still looks good because she'll always look good. I'd always imagined her as having tattoos when I was younger, but I just don't think that I was confident enough in my abilities to be able to give her some. So I gave her some kind of loosely mermaid fish inspired tattoos because somewhere along the way I started associating her with mermaids and siren imagery. So I gave her this full arm sleeve that kind of creeps onto her chest and stomach. I just think it makes her look more visually interesting. As much as the trope of loser wife guy and his super hot and sexy baddie has been driven into the ground, I will admit I am extremely weak for it. I wonder where that could have come from. And so Petra will continue to be a manifestation of everything that I desperately wanted when I was little. Okay, last and maybe a little bit least is Lacy. She was made relatively recently in comparison to the rest of my OCs for this universe, and she was made to be shipped with Vincent. Yay! I don't have a whole lot of art of her because I actually didn't draw her that often. She wasn't very long-lived, so to speak. Right around the time I designed Lacy, which I think was 2020 or 2021, I was kind of phasing out this process of making multiple OCs that all represented myself rather than just rebooting one OC like I do now. Lacy was even more nothing burger than the rest of my self-insert OCs from this era. She was shy, she was naive, she was inexperienced, to contrast whatever Vincent has going on. Oh my gosh, oh god, I feel bad just saying that. It was kind of the stereotypical, daddy will protect you kitten dynamic that they had going on, which is definitely not really something that I'm into anymore. Lacy is also a character that I might have mentioned before in the previous video in this kind of mini-series that I've got going on, because she is Ash's older sister. The one that Ash has kind of been competing with her whole entire life, who she's been compared to. So let's go ahead and get started with the redesign. For those who haven't seen the previous video, this is another one of my OCs. Her name is Ash. She's the younger of two sisters, and she ran away from home when she was a teenager to form a rock band with a few of her friends. And now she lives in the city of New Paris, which is where this city takes place. It's a combination of New York and Paris because I'm American. And she left pretty much every part of her old life behind because she wanted to have a new start and she didn't want to be associated with her family anymore. But that's tough luck because a few years later, Lacy moved to New Paris as well. Lacy didn't actually know that Ash was in New Paris. The two kind of lost contact for a couple years, and Lacy ended up moving to the city to open up her flower shop. I might change that, but for now, Lacy owns a flower shop. And wouldn't you know it, she happens to open her new little flower shop right next to the record store that Ash works at, and she is not happy about that. Ash isn't. Lacy's happy to see her younger sister again, but Ash is not happy. She was intending to leave everything from her old life behind. She became a completely new person who will never be compared to her sister again. And then her perfect sister, who's done everything right and is forging her own way in the world and is an entrepreneur and is opening a shop right next to her, just appears at her doorstep one day completely on accident. She can't even be upset because Lacy didn't do this on purpose. She's not here to torment her sister or anything. She also just wanted to make a better life for herself. Despite being the older sister, Lacy has never been as assured in herself as Ash has been. She's always followed her parents' rules, done what's expected of her, and she's always admired Ash for being outspoken and having her own personality, which sucks because Ash does not feel the same about her. Lacy is kind and gentle, and she's extremely intelligent and always got good grades in school and was essentially their parents' favorite. And even though Lacy tried to connect with Ash when they were young girls, she was always very shy and never wanted to get in the way, and so when Ash would push her away, she would just let her. But they're both adults now. They both have made their own decisions. They have both dealt with their upbringing in different ways, and now they are in the same place and have to interact. Lacy definitely has a lot less story than a lot of the other characters for this project. And even if I don't end up doing anything with these designs in the future, it was still really fun to redesign some of my OCs and see just how much I've improved since I first made them all those years ago. That being said, if you're stuck in art block like I have been the past few months, I would recommend taking out some of your old OCs from way back when and giving them a new coat of paint. Contrary to popular belief, I am not dead. I won't get into it here, but 2026 will be the year of inkiio. Thank you guys all so much for sticking around with me. This will be my 3rd year on YouTube this summer, and that is crazy. I'm so thankful for all of you. I hope you all had a great holiday season and that you had a good new year, and that 2026 will be kinder to you guys than 2025 was. If you want to see what I'm working on, even when I disappear from YouTube, check out my Patreon. Thank you so much to the people who pay for me to be put in the cryostasis chamber so I could take a break from YouTube. My $10 patrons: Puntastic Artist, Little Woofing, Viyun, Zegobuzz, Wishing Star, Speckadoodle, Nekojack, Tyree West, and Bumby Bumblebee. As well as all of my other patrons, all of my subscribers, everybody who watches this video, everybody who likes and comments. If you're new, make sure to subscribe. If you're not new, make a new account and subscribe again. I have been inkiio. I will have more videos for you soon. Happy New Year, happy holidays. Did I already say I'll see you very soon? I'll see you very soon!